I want to welcome all of you who are not with us in class to this video presentation today for our assignment. Today, as you can see from this opening slide, it's going to be, majority of it, a lab day for you to work on your report. Remember, we are on Unit 3, Lesson 6 in Canvas. During class, we're going to do three things. We're going to start off with our learning log in Style Academy, and then review some of the fundamentals about in-text citations for report writing, and finally give you lab time. So you can see from slide number 3, Style Academy, we're learning about appositives today. In the lesson, there will be a short definition of an appositive. I'd like you to copy that in your learning log response, along with 4 types of appositive phrases that you can use in your writing. And then there are 3 places right at the end where it asks you to do some sentence combining with appositive phrases. So watch the video, complete the activities as he instructs in his presentation. Majority or my time for about 10 minutes in class will be devoted to going over what you should have learned in 1010 about documentation and research writing. So I'm just going to quickly do that for you. It's more of a question and answer, and I apologize that you're not here, but to answer your questions. So the first question here that I've listed says, how do I write summaries? Think back to our exercise in 1010 of 30 Little Turtles and the different times that I had you read articles and summarize them. Remember, the topic sentence or the main paragraph deals with the author's full name, where the source is published, and then you try to cover the whole article with action verbs and using the author's last name from there. So that is one of the ways to integrate your sources into your overall report, is to remember what you learned about summary writing. The next thing, remember that this document will be turned into Turnitin. So it's your responsibility when you use information from other places that you write it in your own words. If you look at the sample reports that I included in today's lesson, you'll see that they're all written by it has the same voice in it. In other words, what they've done to put together those reports is they've paraphrased other people's research into their own report. The next question, how do I quote sources? In 1010, I allowed you a lot larger quote percentage than what most reports use. If you remember, I said try to stay under 15%. For this assignment, I'd like you to stay under 5. Why? Because the report should be your voice, and you can take other people's writing and put it into your own sentences and make the text sound like one person writing rather than 7 or 8. How do I use attributions effectively? Remember, an attribution is a lead-in before you present your information, where it cites the author's. The first time you use the source, cite the author's full name. From then on, you will use their last name, and then which leads into the information that you then move into the in-text citation. How do I use parenthetical notations correctly? Remember, parenthetical notations is another name for in-text citations. You always start with the author's last name, if it is, and then the page number. Remember, if you use the author's last name in the sentence, you omit it from the in-text citation. If you're using a source that does not have page numbers, then of course you can't make up a page number. But always start with that. In class, I'm actually having, when students turned in their works consulted page, highlighting the types of words that go in the in-text citation, which won't make sense for you right now, but when you get back, make sure you print off that document and give it to me, and so I'll explain that individually to you with your works consulted page. And how do I craft a working thesis? Remember, this is kind of your goal for the paper. While you are supporting that thesis, remember, you're not in a argumentative style. It's more of an informative style where you present information objectively. And I just alluded to that in the previous few seconds ago, your tone or style for this lesson, I'd like you to access the 2 sample reports in Canvas and look at the voice they use. You'll notice that reports are written in third person, very objective in presentation, lots of facts, clear organization. And as far as organization, go back to what you learned from notebook number 4 about the type of content and the way it's organized for either science reports, social science reports, humanities, and so forth. A week from Wednesday in class, we are going to take your really good rough draft and have it almost use all of the things we've learned in our learning log for this unit with advanced syntax. I'm going to grade it extensively in your report. So just know that you're going to get into more complex sentences and using some of the strategies we have learned with participial phrases, today's appositive phrases, things like that. In your notebook 4, you probably found out whether or not subtopics were commonly used in reports in your genre of writing reports. So think about those as you organize the body of your text. And then I just asked them if there were other questions they have. Finally, remember, anytime you paraphrase, quote, or summarize someone else's work, you have to give them credit, both in an in-text citation and on the works cited page at the end of the report. This slide takes you to two resources for in-text citation, the Purdue OWL resource, and then also a video that goes over in-text citations. And then I also included a PDF resource in our lessons that go over lots of the things I will talk about in class. So before you start writing, just remember what these bullet points are listed. Remember that you come up with a purpose and an organizational plan before you begin. Have that in mind. Remember, you have to have a well-crafted thesis as part of your introduction. Remember, your purpose goes back to the type of the type of informative report you are writing. Are you trying to classify? Are you trying to, I'm trying to remember some of the other ways. Are you trying to elaborate? So what is it you're trying to do? Keep that a part of your organizational plan. And make sure that you follow all rules of MLA research and documentation, even if your genre suggested that you use APA or Chicago Manual. Write clearly, concisely, and academically through the whole thing. No first-person voice. Remember, your report is double-spaced. It needs to be 4 pages, so it's not very long, plus a works cited page. And include a small part, your interview. And then finally, check to make sure that you've used the 7 types of sources that I have given you. So now's your turn to work on your assignment. So there's kind of an overview of today's lesson. So good luck. If you have questions, get in touch with me. Thank you.